Hi everyone, Bernard here. I hope you're all very well. Welcome to the Citizen channel, and we've got a big match preview today, haven't we? Back to the Premier League after our little trip abroad in midweek. A nice little victory that I think most of us are quite happy about that, and interesting thing on the betting side, which we'll go into in a little while. Obviously, I think as a result of that, and certain things happening with another team as well, but not particularly the Champions League betting, but obviously the Premier League betting, and this is what it's all about this week. Sheffield United versus Manchester City. Saturday the 31st of October, Halloween. Let's hope there's no scares and bumps in the night. 12:30 p.m. again, so hopefully I'll be well back. I was a bit late at work today, so hopefully I'm well back tomorrow. I mean, 12:30 p.m. kickoffs. It's great. I can do it and obviously get back and hopefully do the full review as well before Saturday's over. Yeah, Bramall Lane, one of the old grounds. I like Bramall Lane. I like these old grounds. We'll have our usual features today, including a look at our opponent, Sheffield United, some of the bit of history from between our two clubs, the odds on the game with my free Just for Fun bets, regular City magazine feature, including a werewolf. We even got a werewolf or two, well, just one werewolf thrown in there as a bit of interest for you on the City magazine today. And of course, we'll have a look at You Are the Ref. Nice quick one today, nice quick easy question. No problems there, you'll get this spot on. I hope you're doing all right with these You Are the Ref questions anyway. So there you go, we'll have a You Are the Ref in a moment. Please, if you're new to the Citizen channel, please push that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 500 by Christmas 2020. So if you can kick your friends, anyone else you know who might be interested, please give them a push my way. That'd be absolutely fantastic. And please, if you check my playlist, there's loads of things on football, City quizzes, there's City history, etc, etc. Tons of stuff on there. I keep myself busy and hopefully entertain you lot, and we can have a bit of fun as well while we're doing it. And of course, if you're into movies or TV dramas, etc, I do vlogs on reviews on vlogs on films, etc. So posters and quizzes on films and stuff like that. So please check the playlist. So if someone you know is interested in the film and TV side, please point them in that direction. You can pick and choose football or films or TV or both or all or everything. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Please leave your comments. Any comments are always welcome. Just don't have to be about what we talk about today. Just leave your comments, or obviously you can leave me a comment on Twitter. Obviously I'll go into that later on, but that'd be great. If you can't leave a comment, even give us a thumbs up. It's nice to know you're out there. It's fantastic. I mean, I do get regular contributors to the comment section. It's lovely to know they're there. It'd be great to know a few more of you out there, and let's have a sort of a mini chat. I try to answer everything that needs answering, so that'll be superb. Right, here we go. You Are the Ref. Yeah, let's have a quick look at this. Thanks to Mr. Trevelyan and Mr. Hackett for this. Today's question, quite simple. There we go. It's up on the screen. A player takes a quick throw in while standing 10 metres back from the touchline. I think this is me, this, when I used to take a throw, and I used to hate taking throw-ins. So I used to always think I'd get it wrong. I was okay, but I didn't take that many. But it bounces before it enters the field of play. There you see on the image there. See the good artwork. So what retake? What do you do? I mean, you're going to retake it. What are you going to do? You're going to award a throw into the opposition because the bloke's an idiot. You're going to order a retake because the bloke's an idiot, or you're going to award a drop ball because the bloke's an idiot for not throwing it far enough. But hey, what are you going to do? A drop ball. Answer A, award a throw in to the opposition. I think that sounds fair enough. B, order a retake. No, he's silly enough to do it, wasn't he? And C, award a drop ball. So there you are. I think I've gauged where my answer's going on that, but I'm not saying that's the right answer. What do you think? Yep, last time we met at Bramall Lane, 21st of January 2020, about 2 or 3 weeks before the COVID set in, wasn't it? Sheffield were a bit nasty that day. I've just had a look back at my match review on that game. And they were a little bit rough, to say the least, and they'd been quite impressing people last season. But I didn't enjoy the physical side of the game last season. There was certainly plenty of that. I mean, we had a missed Jesus penalty, didn't we? So this was before we discovered our penalty taker. This was before Mr. KDB finally got the bottle to stand up and start taking them. Yeah, we had a missed Jesus penalty in the first half. Again, we were reasonably comfortable possession-wise, etc. And I don't think Sheffield United caused us much bother, but we could have done with Mr. Jesus scoring that. And the only goal was actually scored by Aguero, who started the game on the bench. He scored on 73 minutes. That was the only goal of the game. He came on after 67 minutes, and finally, with a KDB assist, scored the goal. And it was reasonably comfortable. We had chances to finish it off. I think Sterling had a great chance to finish it off, but it was a bit of a lacklustre. Apart from the physical side, it was a pretty lacklustre Sheffield United display, considering how well they'd been playing most of the season. And but we were quite happy, I think, with 1-0, and justifiably. It was certainly a decent, we deserved it. That's all we can say. History, boys. What about the history? Well, we played at Bramhall Lane, or the equivalents. I'm not 100% sure if they played somewhere before at Bramhall Lane. 56 times we played there. We've not got the greatest record, actually. We've won 18 and we've drawn 18, but we've lost 20, so we're in the minus at the moment. It'd be nice to get that into the plus over the next 2 or 3 seasons if Sheffield United hang around. There's no guarantee of that, is it, at the moment? Fingers crossed for them. Obviously, it looks as though they're struggling a little bit this season. A bit more on that in a moment. Our biggest win away there was on the 27th of September 1924. No, I wasn't. Despite what you say, I wasn't around then. No, I wasn't at that game. So Mr. Frank Roberts, got an image of him there, haven't we? Frank Roberts' hat-trick in that game, plus goals from Johnson and Barnes, a 5-0 win. And our heaviest defeat, but this is typical City, isn't it? I mean, we beat them 5-0 in 1924-25. Our heaviest defeat, believe it or not, 25-26 the year after, and we lost 8-3. So there you go, typical City. One season we beat them 5-0, the next season we lose 8-3. So there you go. Mr. Roberts did get a goal again, plus Cowan and Johnson scored as well. So Johnson and Roberts doing very well. I just had a quick look at Mr. Frank Roberts. I just looked at him. I might do a thing on him one day on my history thing. He scored quite a lot of goals for City. Good player. Not someone who springs to mind, is he? It's not a name most of us are familiar with. I mean, my first visit, just a matter of interest, if you really care that much, was this one. Was the 11th of January 1975 was my first visit, and I thought I was going to watch a cricket match in January because we went in at the entrance next to the pavilion. I think the pavilion was there, where I'm fairly sure I'm right in that, because it was a cricket ground, obviously, and a football ground, so it's only 3 sides when I first went to Sheffield United, Bramhall Lane. And I think they did have... The architects had drawn up plans for putting the new main stand in. I think they were getting rid of the cricket ground side of it. But yeah, it was a cricket ground when I went in. We went into the pavilion at the side, then walked all the way around to the away end. So that was 11th of January 1975. My very first visit at the age, how old was I then? That was 15 I would have been then. My first visit to Sheffield United. I was going to away games from about 13 or 14, but that was 15 before I went to Sheffield. A 1-1 draw that game. Tommy Booth. I very rarely saw City win away from home, to be honest. I went to a lot of games, but we weren't very good away from home in those days, unfortunately. Yeah, Tommy Booth scored our goal. I believe there's a new hotel at the away end now, but obviously I've not seen that yet. I've not been to Sheffield's ground for a while. I think that's fairly new. That's a fairly new thing anyway. Right, my score prediction, we'll have that later on. Right, the lineup, I've just had a quick look at this and I thought there's perhaps one change I might make, but I'll stick with what I put on, or stick with what I've put on my little piece of paper there that I'm going to put the image up. My suggested lineup: Henderson, Walker, Diaz, Laporte. This is as long as they all come out after the swim, after the Marseille game. They all went for a nice swim, didn't they? Got some pictures later, some of the players. But yeah, so hopefully they've all come out of that game okay. I've not heard anything different as I'm recording this. Henderson, Walker, Diaz, Laporte. And I've put Zinchenko in there, but I believe Aki's sort of fits, so I wouldn't be surprised if Aki was in for Zinchenko on the left. But I wouldn't be too worried Zinchenko's there, but I think it'll be a big bonus if Aki's back and playing. Then we've got KDB, Rodri, Torres, Bernardo, Foden and Sterling. So I've gone fairly positive again there. I've not included someone like Mahrez. I think the thing is Walker and Mahrez, because the thing with Walker is, I think I've put him down as playing because we're playing Olympiacos next, aren't we? And I don't think he'll play his strongest team against Olympiacos. No disrespect to them, but I think people like Walker will get a rest against Olympiacos. So that's why I've sort of played him again, even though 2 or 3 of those players might need a little bit of a rest. Diaz has played every game, hasn't he? He perhaps needs a little rest as well, but... I've gone for that on the basis that he may get rested against Olympiacos, and then that's where Aki might come into it and say Zinchenko might play this game. And it'll be interesting to see what team it is. Say it's still a bit up there, with injuries and stuff like that. How are they doing, Sheffield? Well, they're not doing great, are they? I mean, flipping heck. I mean, we lie 13th, so we're not fantastic, are we? But the Sheffield United lie 19th, just 1 point. From 6 games, and that was a home draw with Fulham, who the only team below them in the table, so that doesn't really say much, does it? They've lost at home to Leeds and Wolves already. as well as a draw with Fulham. Of course, they've got their own injury problems as well. I think they've got a couple of key players out with long-term injuries at the moment. So, like us, they've struggled a little bit with injuries, and they did well at Anfield though. The last game, they were obviously beaten by Liverpool 2-1 at Anfield, and they were leading in that game quite early on. It never seems to work out at Anfield, does it? If you take an early lead, the chances are you're not going to last it. It's probably better to take the lead with about 5 or 10 minutes to go, isn't it? And it's no good having an early lead at Anfield. They made a good fist of it, and I do expect. I don't know. I didn't see the whole game. I've just read a few reports. So how physical they were, I weren't too sure. But I do expect them to play a very physical game again against City, especially in the circumstances with their injuries and the fact they've only got 1 point from 6 games. I mean, I think Mr. I forgot his name now. The manager, is it Wilder? Is it Wilder? My apologies if it isn't. My apologies. I'll put it on screen if it's someone else. But yeah, I think it's going to be very, very. It could be physical again to allow for the fact they've only got 1 point and they're not done the greatest at the moment. Henderson, I mean, had a cracking game against us last season, didn't he? Hopefully it's a bit more off form. He's one of these goalkeepers who can do some wonderful things, but I have seen him drop some right clangers. But let's hope he's not on top form as he was last season against us. And it will be disappointing if we don't beat them. Certainly after the Marseille game, I think danders are up, aren't they? I think we're all confident, and I'm sure the team's confident. And I don't expect a high-scoring game, though. But I'd like to think that City will score 3 or 4, but I'm not overly convinced that will happen. So, as I said, I'll give you my score with the betting odds in a moment. But yeah, I'll be disappointed if we don't beat them. But it will be a tough game, and we're not frightened of a physical battle, are we? I don't think the City team is. I think, and certainly now we seem to have some bigger lads in as well, don't we? With the Diaz's added and Aki's added, they sort of stand the ground, don't they? I don't think they're frightened of putting it about. So that's absolutely especially Diaz. I mean, he does impress me as more of an old-fashioned centre half with plenty of skills, obviously. So yeah, I don't expect a high-scoring game, but I think we should be very disappointed if we don't win this, and obviously start this run of consistency I want to see. Referee and assistants tomorrow. We've got Michael Oliver's in charge tomorrow, and see what happens there. Obviously, he's the one who didn't give that goal for Aston Villa against Sheffield United. If you remember back to that farce where it crossed the line, and obviously VAR didn't even pick up on it. But so he's not very popular with Sheffield, but he's not exactly very popular with us, is he, Michael Oliver? Assistants Stuart Burt and Simon Bennett. The fourth official is Mr. Peter Banks. On VAR, we've got Paul Turney with assistant VAR Andy Halliday. So let's see how they go on tomorrow. Right, the odds, please. I don't condone gambling, please. Only bet what you can afford, and please, the fun stop. I mean, this is just a bit of fun. I made a small loss on my Marseille game. I did have my 5-point bet sort of came in and sort of almost covered the losses I made on the other bets, but just a small 1-point loss overall. So it wasn't a total disaster. Yeah, on the betting front, I did sort of hint at it earlier, didn't I? City are now favourites again to win the 2021 Premier League. I just checked the odds. City are now the best price you can get. Just us looking, there might be some obscure bookies who are offering a little bit more, but it's 6-4 for City to win the 2021. And Liverpool, you can get as high as 15-8 on them retaining their title. So there you go. We're back. It doesn't take much, does it? A couple of injuries to a Liverpool player. City look okay against Marseille, and all of a sudden we're league favourites again. So that was quite interesting. Anyway, if you fancy a flutter, you can get 6-4 on City. I wouldn't put anything on 6. I won't put anything on that. I mean, just look at the table. We're 13th at the moment, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, does it? We could be 4th or 5th if we win our game in hand. But yeah, it's funny. It's a funny old game betting. Sheffield United are 1,500-1 to win the Premier League, but look at this, they're actually only 5-4 to be relegated. So that shows how bad their start has been. I think obviously I think the 3 promoted teams more or less are only below them only higher than them on the odds to get relegated. So that's quite interesting. Anyway, on to the match tomorrow. The match odds: City are 3-10 on to win. 5 for the draw and 9 for the Sheffield United win, and no real value there. My first bet's I'm going to have to take a risk on the first goal scorer tomorrow. You got Sterling at 4-1, Mahrez at 11-2, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, KDB will play tomorrow. I think he may be rested against Olympiacos, and I've got 2 points on KDB to score the first goal scorer at 11-2. It's always a very risky business, first goal scorer, but if we get a penalty or something, he's going to trot up. So I'll stick him down as the first bet. Other Other bets on first goal scorer: Torres is 8, Bernardo is 8, Gundo's 11. Sorry, 11-1. Gundo. That's not a bad price, is it? You know, he can pop up if he's playing more forward like he did the other night. Sheffield United plays to score first, and we've got McBurney at 11-1, Sharp at 11-1, and McGoldrick at 14-1. Both teams to score. You can get 4 to 5, yes, for both teams to score. I'm not 100% Sheffield will score, to be honest with you. I'm hoping they don't, even though my correct score perhaps doesn't back that up. But I'm hoping they don't score from a personal point of view. And it's 21 to 20 that both teams won't score, yes or no. So that's it. I nearly went for that. I nearly went for the 21-20. But my second bet's going in the correct scores. You've got wins for City: 2-0, 15-2, 2-1 is 8-1, 1-0 is 17-2, 3-0 is 9-1. And again, I'm going for my safe thing. I think we're capable of scoring 3, but it could be 3-0, you know, at 9-1. But I plumped for 3-1. At 11-1, 2 points on that, but 2 or 3-0 wouldn't surprise me. So I'm hoping, you know, fingers crossed again. No disrespect to Sheffield, you know, they might turn us over. You don't know, do you? But I'm going for 3-1 at 11-1, so on a couple of points on that. If you fancy the draw, you've got 0-0 is 20-1, so there's not much thought of that's going to happen. 1-1 is 12-1, 2-2 is 22-1. Sheffield United to win. If you've got a Sheffield United 1-0 is 30-1, and 2-1 is 30-1. So I can't see us losing by 2 goals. I have to keep my fingers crossed when I say these ones. And my last bet's going to be on the half-time, full-time. I'm going for a City at half-time. I nearly went for a draw in City, but I'll go for City and City at 5-6. So it's very restrictive odds. But I'll go 5 points. I'll go my big 5 points on that one. City and City. I mean, if I'd gone for draw and City, which was half and half about, that was 17-5, so it was a lot better. Yeah, but I'll stick with City for City. I've wrote it down here. You should never change your mind. This is what I was always told. Never change your mind, so I'll do that. A draw is 17-2, half-time and full-time. Sheffield to win. Sheffield, so half-time, full-time is 17-1. A draw in Sheffield is 22-1. Sheffield and a City win, second half, 25-1. City to win and a draw is also 25-1. Anytime goal scorers, I sometimes have a look at that, don't I? Obviously, I'm not going to have a go at that this time, but Sterling's 10-11, not a bad price. KDB's 11-8, that's not bad. So Sterling, you know, perhaps Sterling was odds against. I might have had a dabble there, but I haven't. Mahrez 17-10, Foden 9-5, Torres 2-1, Bernardo 5-2. A couple of Sheffield players, but Burney's 7-2 and Sharp is 16-5. And yeah, my third bet's going to be. Is it going to be... Here we go. If I give you the 3 bets, let me just have a look. I can't even remember to give them yet. Yeah, I'll give you all the 3 bets. That's it. You've had all the 3 bets. So yeah, the under-over market, under 2.5 is 17-10, under 2.5 goals. Under 3.5 goals is 4-6. Yeah, it wasn't a great price, so I didn't touch that. Just another odd couple of bets. City to win by 1 or 2 goals is 3-1. You fancied that? That's very possible. 1 or 2 goals. I mean, that's good. That you could perhaps put a point on each and make money on that, couldn't you? Total City goals is actually between 0 and 2.5 is actually even. So obviously, if you think we'll score less than 3, that's not a bad price as well. Anyway, that's the betting. As I said, please, I don't condone gambling, and please only bet what you can afford. And when the fun stops, stop. Yep, now on to our little bits and bobs that I've dug around on the City magazine feature. There's a great thing, wasn't there, on Gundo, and there some images. He spent his 30th birthday weekend. 30, he's getting on a bit now, isn't he? He's be up to me soon. Yeah, we met some great fans. This is community integrated at Comment Care. Yeah, met some fans at Each Step in Blakely and St Anne's House in Manchester. That was absolutely fantastic. To spend the free time doing things like that is absolutely wonderful, and it made the fans' day at those care centres absolutely fantastic. Well done, Ilkay. Absolutely proud of you. Steve Tierney at MCFC_Steve. Yeah, a little image. I thought I nearly didn't put this one up, but I thought, well, it's a bit of banter, and I think it just made me chuckle, just made me smile when I saw it. So, and I'm sure Liverpool fans will appreciate the banter in that, and I think it's quite good. I mean, I don't have a lot to do with Liverpool fans on social media. I tend to not. There's 1 or 2 I do follow and sort of just ignore some of the things they say. But yeah, that's a bit of fun there. A bit of banter there from Steve Tierney anyway. Oh, you made you smile like it made me smile when I saw that. At Laporte, of course, well, there's a lot of love out there for the dressed up. He was dressed up going up over to Marseille once. There's a lot of in his city leisure wear kit, so that was a great image. There's a lot of love and a lot of comments on that. I want, a lot of people saying they wanted something similar, but they do have some good fashion. They have a few fashion faux pas of players. I can think of one or two over the last few years, but yeah, there's some good stuff. There's some good Puma stuff. I mean, Pep had that top on. Was it a Puma top a couple of games ago when he was doing a an interview, and he also had the 9th of November thing, the memorial thing on it as well, a little badge stuck on it, but obviously the actual top he wore was superb. So we do pretty well on that, some good stuff. I mean, I've got my little fancy one. I mean, yeah, quite. I don't know if you like. Let me know in the comments. Do you think it suits? You think it's my colour? I never wore pink in my life, any element of pink in my life, to be honest with you, before this. So there you go. It makes us try different things, doesn't it? And I wasn't overly impressed with this when I first saw it, but hey, you've got to go with the flow, haven't you? You've got to be. Makes you feel young. I feel young again. Yeah, I feel all young again. Yeah, Dr. John Bell. Oh, this is. Yeah, I mean. He was talking about food in the, and obviously if you don't know Dr. John Bell, it's Colin Bell's son, and he was talking about the food in hospital, because Colin Bell's been in his hospital for 10 weeks. I had no idea, so this will be his 11th week, I assume. I've tried to have a look round, find out why he's in hospital, what's he in for, but I can't see anything at all. I've even looked at Dr. John Bell's previous tweets, etc., and I can't see anything that gives us a clue as to why his dad's in hospital. But I think we all can agree, get well soon, the king. We all lots of messages there on Twitter to Dr. John Bell for his dad, sort of thing. So yeah, that's I don't know if you know. Well, let me know in the comments if you know why is it what's he in for. And we're not under. I certainly don't know. It's been there 11 weeks now, so it's nothing small, is it? Not this sort of time. People aren't being taken into hospital for anything. But let's hope he's sorted out and back with us very, very soon. And there's a great image there as I'm talking, obviously, with that I only saw someone posting. My apologies, I can't remember who posted it, but Colin Bell with Alf Ramsey, or Sir Alf Ramsey as he became known when he got knighted. But that's a great. I've never seen that ever in my life before, so that's a great image. So I thought I'd share that with you. Yeah, Mark McLaughlin at Chartered Tax. If you want to know anything tax-wise, follow this guy anyway. He's very useful. He's a big City fan. He's great, Mark. And obviously he's commented, City United fans are donating £14.95 to Manchester's food banks instead of paying broadcasters to watch their teams on pay-per-view. And we haven't ever been on pay-per-view yet. Clapping hands sign. Please join them if you can afford to do so. So that's, yeah, of course, Honeybee, Blue Heart, Honeybee, donate here. So it's a HTTP thing. GoFundMe.com/F/MUFC MCFC-fans-supporting-food banks. I've hopefully put it on here. If I've got the chance to do it, I'll put it in the links below if I've not put it on the screen. So, of course, if you want to donate, if you've got the £14.95 to donate, please, that's an absolute wonderful thing. And I think they're just over 20, got a target of 50,000. And last time I looked yesterday evening when I'm recording this, it was up to 27,000. So, if you can do that, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Mark, for letting us know about that. Yeah, KDB shared a tweet. It'll be an image up there now at De Bruyne, Kev, of course, saying, where should I put him? Obviously, he's talking about the ball, isn't he? Well, very, very confident, Mr. KDB. I'm not going to comment on some of the corners you put in that don't hit anybody, but, yeah, I like that. I mean... Nothing wrong with confidence, is there? I mean, I say we didn't have the greatest rate of scoring from corners, did we? And KDB did take quite a lot of those, so perhaps it's not him. He's put him in the right place, but just not getting plays in the right spot. That's the only thing. Yeah, so there's some great images. Just carrying on from that, there was some great images as well of the lads relaxing with a swim after the Marseille exertions. A couple of comments from young ladies I noticed, and perhaps even the odd gentlemen as well about looking at it. But yeah, so especially the Kevin De Bruyne one where he's smiling, absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I did mention werewolves, didn't I? It was just an image I come across this morning. I thought I'd share it with you. And it was from Peter Penman on Facebook. And it was just a great image. I don't know if he's drawn it or where he's got it from, but that is a fantastic, I think that's a great image, isn't it? A werewolf image. That's the inner werewolf. I mean, we're well used to the sharks, weren't we? But obviously that's... onto the werewolves now as opposed to sharks. So it's city werewolves perhaps, but that's a fantastic image. I mean, I might even use that as a screensaver. Right, you are the ref, the answer. Thanks. Any comments on what we said on the magazine anyway? As I say, there's a few thing, worthy cause, and some great stuff on there. And it's always interesting to know if you miss stuff that's happened in City's world. I try and pick up bits and pieces perhaps you weren't aware of. Yeah, right, you are the ref answer. Yeah, a player takes a quick throw in while standing 10 metres back from the touchline, but it bounces before it enters the field of play. What do you do? Do you award a throw into the opposition? Well, that was my decision, wasn't it? B, order a retake. That's a mamby-pamby. He's made a mistake, hasn't he? Award a drop ball. He could have said play on as well, couldn't he? Could have given us another option there to play on. That would have been interesting, you know, if it had still, you know. Anyway, there you go. The answer's B. Make him take it again. I think it was too soft, referees, aren't they? They're far too soft on players. The player must throw the ball onto the field of play for it to be in play. I mean, there should be something against the fact you've actually thrown it from 10 yards behind the line as well. So yeah, I mean, they're interesting, these questions, because they do, well, me anyway, they do make me question the question, if you like, and the answer, if you like. You know, there's so many, even on these, if you think about VAR and what we've got now, but you look at these things, these little questions, I mean, you say there's so many different anomalies, it's no wonder we have problems, isn't it? But it could be far simpler, I suppose, but that's quite simple, isn't it? It has to enter the field of play, otherwise you just take it again. But I'd punish the side like you do for a foul throw. If you take a foul throw, you get punished and it goes to the opposition. So I think the same should have happened there. If he messes it up and he doesn't, you know, why give him the benefit of taking it again? So hey, I'll make a good ref, me, won't I? Right, anyway, thanks for joining me. Please, I'll be back with a match review, of course, and I'm hoping Saturday evening after the game to report on a great win. I think how many times have I crossed my fingers today? So if not, it'll be Sunday morning, but obviously I'll try and get back Saturday evening with that. Please check out my recent Citizen channel. If you check the playlist there, obviously I did that City versus United 6-goal thriller, not the 1989 one, but the 1990 one. There's not really so much talked about for obvious reasons if you know about it, or if you watch the vlog. It was possibly one of the most highest and lowest days, you know, for a non-crucial match, if you like, in my history at Main Road, anyway, from memory. It's, you know, there's so many games I forgot about that was at, but that game did stick in my mind, what happened and the effects of it. So please check that out on the playlist anyway. It's getting a lot of views, so that's out there. There's going to be something else coming out this week as well. I'm struggling on time at the moment, so I did plan something else. So that might appear. So I'm not going to say it's going to come out, because you'll obviously be missing it then, won't you? So anyway, look out for something else over the next 2 or 3 days. Just a little bit of fun about City. So not a particular City past, it's a City present, but just something else I'm trying to do. But it's getting the time to do these things when you're working a 50-60 hour week and trying to do these vlogs as well. It's not really that easy. Anyway, please check my links on screen. Oh, don't feel sorry for me. Stop it. Have you crying? Won't I? Big Mardy. Anyway, please check out my links on screen. If you follow or friend me on Facebook and Twitter, I do check every couple of days and follow and friend everyone back. And if you can check out one of my day jobs, my little website, moviegamenostalgia.com. I used to have a video shop, if you know, in the 90s and 2000s. So I still sell old and rare DVDs, movie posters I sell from the 90s and 2000s, some board games on there as well. So you can check out moviegamenostalgia.com. Much appreciated. Right, thank you so much for joining me for this big match preview of the Sheffield United versus Manchester City game at Bramall Lane. Eh? Let's hope we can make it 19 wins, eh? Let's catch up. We've got to say we've lost 20 at Bramall Lane or equivalent. As I said, I'm not 100% sure if they've played there all history. So let's make it 19 wins. Anyway, thanks for that. Whatever you're going to do with the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your family. More important, let's all look after each other. Until we meet again, hopefully very, very soon. Please stay safe, Blues. Further saying goodbye for now.